Chapter 54 is finished. Wrong address. At that moment, a working woman with gleaming leather shoes bearing the logo of a prestigious family, wearing red-soled, black-faced stilettos, walked over. Hello. The woman had delicate features and fiery red lips, making it difficult to guess her exact age, but she appeared to be around 30. Hello, my name is Zhu Jing, and my mechanical prototype is a Lamborghini. It's a pleasure to meet you. Li Qianqi didn't reply, but instead sent a basic detection spell. Name: Zhu Jing. Mechanical prototype: Lamborghini Sesto Elemento Valkyrie.
Age.
Core qualities: strength rating. Property: history of past contracts. Current contract status: construct status, cannot be detected. Good grief, apart from the name and the mechanical prototype, we know absolutely nothing else. So, this woman must be incredibly powerful. Furthermore, her design is based on the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, meaning this woman is the very being from that day. It's highly likely he's an inside man. Hello, Ms. Zhu Jing. How may I ask for your guidance? Li Qianqi composed himself and said politely. Zhu Jing is no ordinary person. She is the Deputy Minister of the Desheng branch of the Great Xia Machine Alliance, holding a high position. Moreover, her strength is definitely not as simple as the silver level one on the surface. Li Qianqi must feign compliance before confronting her directly. It is not advisable to take a hard line. I heard Yang Qinglong say that you are a rising star in Dazhou and even the entire Sichuan province, so I definitely had to come and see you. Zhu Jing pushed up her glasses. This young man is very promising. He has a bright future ahead of him. Zhu Jing reached into her pocket and rummaged around. Li Qianqi immediately tensed up. What are they trying to do? Could it be that they're planning to launch a surprise attack on me with mechs when I'm not paying attention? It's important to know that, unlike ordinary people who must fight as a commander and a Valkyrie as one, the deacons of the Honkai Church can fight as one. By wearing the mask, the commander and the Valkyrie can become one. So even if the opponent comes alone, you must be careful. Immediately, Li Qianqi decided to strike first. Li Qianqi glanced at Jejia.
Huh?
This girl had already circled around to the back? So sensible, no wonder she's my sister. She's definitely learned my trick of resorting to underhanded tactics when in doubt. Li Qianqi blinked. At the same time, Jejia suddenly had a small mechanical spear in her hand. She gripped the spear and used it as a fire poker, smashing it into the back of Zhu Jing's head. That's ruthless. But don't worry, even if it causes a concussion, it's not a big deal. Zhu Jing's eyes rolled back. She convulsed for a moment, and then fainted to the ground. Brother, how is it? Jejia put away the god-slaying spear, put her hands on her hips, and looked up with a smug expression. Jejia is the best. I'll reward you when we get home. I'll give you a really good reward. Li Qianqi rubbed Jejia's head. Brother, Jejia pouted, pointed at Zhu Jing's head, then at Li Qianqi's head. Brother, I advise you to be kind. Li Qianqi shrank his neck. He crouched down, flipped Zhu Jing over, took the god-slaying spear, and smashed the stick against Zhu Jing's head again. Bang bang. If you're going to faint, you should faint completely. What if you wake up halfway through? System, I need access.
Ding.
Target has lost consciousness. Access is permitted. Under investigation. Automatic firewall encountered, currently breaching. The Valkyrie's system panel is like a sophisticated computer, and the higher the Valkyrie's level, the more powerful its firewall. Li Qianqi's access privileges were like a USB drive infected with a powerful virus. Continue accessing. Metaphorical technique. The USB drive was roughly inserted into the computer's USB port. The instant it was connected, it released hundreds of millions of logical infection viruses into the computer's interior. These hundreds of millions of logical viruses spread to various components of the computer, heading towards the central processing unit. However, a virus intrusion was detected on a critical component, which automatically generated a large amount of cleanup code. This code was enormous compared to the logic virus, like macrophages encasing the tadpole-sized logic virus inside. Continue accessing. These high-level Valkyries are really hard to access. Let me visit. Li Qianxi insisted on the visit. Give me the visit. The USB drive was unplugged again, and then suddenly plugged back into the USB port. This time it held back for a long time before finally releasing all its logic and infecting the virus in an instant. The logic-based virus instantly breached the firewall, and hundreds of millions of viruses advanced towards the central processing unit, CPU, breaking through layer after layer of obstacles, ultimately overwhelming the CPU. Access successful. Target data updated. Lamborghini Sesto Elemento image gallery retrieved. Name: Zhu Jing. Mechanical prototype: Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, Valkyrie. Age: 35. With advanced technology, those who know about skincare techniques understand this, right? Core quality: Grade B medium. Strength rating: Gold level 1. Attribute: Thunder. History of the contract: 1. Current contract status: Contracted. Valkyrie status: No abnormalities. Biography: Please click to expand and view. Detailed data: Please click to expand and view. Once accessed, any information can be seen, even details like the number of times you wet the bed as a child. Ahem. There's no need to check that. Li Qianxi checked Zhu Jing's recent data and discovered that she was not a member of the collapsed church. This is awkward. He really is a vice minister, and he holds a position similar to that of an ancient inspector, a vice minister dispatched periodically by the Central Mechanism Alliance, making him even stronger than Yang Chenglong. Last time, she was sent by Sichuan Province, and this time she's also sent by Sichuan Province. She's just taking the opportunity to meet me, give me a driver's license, and get to know me. Unexpectedly, I ended up interviewing myself. Brother, what's wrong? Jia asked, should we kill these villains from the collapsed church? No. It's nothing. Li Qianxi swallowed hard. Jia, shall we go home? Go home. Jia frowned, then suddenly realized she had dialed the wrong number. Okay, let's go home. After saying that, the two of them ran out of the parking lot. Only the unconscious Zhu Jing remained lying there, muttering something incoherently.
What?
Don't come any closer.
What?
I can't fit it all in. What do you mean? Husband, I'm sorry? Even so, I only love my husband. Chapter 55 Me, the new red card 5. Li Qianxi's home. After leaving parking lot number 13 in a dejected manner, Li Qianxi began to examine his gains from this Class 3 driver's license test.
Ding.
Congratulations on obtaining a Level 3 driver's license. Your talents Star Tuner, Supermancer, and Linker have been upgraded to Level 2. Star Tuner, a special talent for commanders, Level 1. Can adjust star rating using 1 to 2 energy core adjustment badges and themselves. The star rating of the energy core adjustment badge increases with the user's energy core level, lasting until the end of the battle. Current maximum star rating adjustment: 1 plus 2. For a Level 3 Star Tuner, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3, and so on. You used to be able to use only 1 star adjustment badge, but now you can use 2. The first star adjustment badge was a gift from the system. The system no longer gives out second ones, so Li Qianxi has to get them himself. It's just a badge. Li Qianxi had already prepared it in advance. The hundreds of millions of daxia coins he spent before weren't wasted. 1-star badges can be purchased in the system shop for 50,000 points each. High-star badges can only be synthesized from low-star badges, and synthesizing a 2-star badge requires 10 1-star badges, which is 500,000 points. As expected, things involving commanders are incredibly expensive. Although it's expensive, this item won't become obsolete. Even if you level it up later, low-star badges won't be replaced like Valkyrie accessories. Instead, you can keep them to synthesize higher-level badges, so it's still worth the money. 2-star Energy Core Star Tuning Badge. Commander Badge Equipment, 2-star. Through the Star Tuner talent, it can increase the commander's level by 2 minor levels. Now, with 2 badges, 1 plus 2, you can directly increase 3 minor levels. Then there's the issue of overloading and links. Hersher of the XYZ, Commander Exclusive Talent, current level 2. Can be stacked with Valkyrie to forcibly activate the Herrscher of the XYZ form, increasing power by a major tier, e.g., from Iron 3 to Bronze 3. Herrscher of the XYZ can be stacked with Valkyrie's fourth form Herrscher of Ascension, further increasing power. Current energy consumption reduced, duration increased from 3 minutes to 10 minutes. Linker, Commander Talent, current level 2. You can contract multiple additional Valkyries. They form a link using your energy core, allowing them to fight simultaneously or in combination, sharing your energy consumption, but your total energy consumption will increase by 50%, meaning when controlling multiple Valkyries, only the one with the highest energy consumption is counted, but the total energy consumption increases by 50%. Currently, you can contract 2 additional Valkyries. Great. The energy requirement for XYZ Surge has decreased and the duration has increased, so I can finally use it more often. I can transform into my sister's form again. Then came the Linker, who opened a new contract position, and Li Qianxi already had a target for this new contract. Brother, you're not thinking of making a contract with Sakura, are you? Jia frowned. She's so young. You're really going to torture her. Jia, I don't think you understand at all. Li Qianxi shook his head. Xiaoying is the ruler, and I'm sacrificing myself to save millions of families. Jia, you don't want the world to end, do you? You don't want Xiaoying to fall into becoming the ruler of the world's destruction, do you? Jia was speechless. However, you can't do anything to her. She's still young. Drink. Jia, who do you think I am? I'm a true gentleman, okay? Would I do something like this? Humph. I don't know which pervert is trying to video call me as soon as I fall asleep, as soon as I take a shower, as soon as I change clothes. This. Li Qianxi blushed. I am devoted to Jia. Who would believe you? Humph. How about this? I've thought this through and decided to make amends. From now on, I'll wash Jia's socks, bras, and panties, okay? Alright then, but you're not allowed to do anything weird with my socks. Okay. Li Qianxi nodded. What about Xiaoying? Sign it if they're willing. Thump, thump, thump. A knock came at the door. Brother, you want to sign a contract with a minor? The police are coming to arrest you. Jia teased. Li Qianxi raised an eyebrow, a bad feeling creeping into his heart. This wasn't the police coming to arrest him, it was probably Zhu Jing coming to his door. When Li Qianxi opened the door, he found that it was indeed Ms. Zhu Jing. There were still a few drops of blood on her forehead, indicating that she had been hit quite hard. Hello, may I ask who you are? Li Qianxi asked without hesitation. Who am I? You two are the ones who just knocked me out. An angry symbol appeared on Zhu Jing's forehead. I think you have a concussion, ma'am. I don't know you. Li Qianxi shook his head. Yes. We don't know you. Someone else ambushed us at the Mech Alliance. Just now, it wasn't me. Jia chimed in. Zhu Jing took a deep breath and glanced at Li Qianxi's situation. Your parents aren't home, are they? Not here. Don't worry, I'm not here to hold anyone accountable. Zhu Jing sighed and rubbed her aching head. You should have said so earlier, then it was me. Li Qianxi breathed a sigh of relief. You. Zhu Jing was speechless, and after a long silence, she finally spoke. Li Qianxi, let's get down to business. Okay. Li Qianxi invited Ms. Zhu Jing into his home, made her a cup of milk powder, and handed it to her. Baby formula? Zhu Jing frowned. What is all this nonsense? Serving baby formula to guests? I have kids at home who love sweet drinks, but I'm worried about them getting cavities, so I've stocked up on formula. Some of it is almost expired, so to avoid waste So, the milk powder you made for me was almost expired? Zhu Jing felt like she was going crazy. Who serves milk powder to guests, especially when it's almost expired? Yeah, it's almost expired anyway, but it's not expired yet. Li Qianxi said with an innocent look in his eyes. Jia, standing to the side, turned her face away, trying hard to suppress her laughter. Li Qianxi, you've been targeted by the Hankai Church, you know that, right? Zhu Jing still took a sip of milk. It tastes alright. I know. Li Qianxi nodded. Are you aware of the Honkai Church's strategy towards geniuses like you? I look forward to your guidance. Treat them to a meal, behead them, or take them as your dogs. Zhu Jing pushed up her gold-rimmed glasses, blood trickling down her forehead again. Zhu Jing glanced at Li Qianxi's eyes and continued. You have their Honkai mask, right? This is the first step in their invitation. I think it won't be long before they contact you through the Honkai mask, using some irresistible temptations to get you to join. And if you don't join them, they'll start with your friends and family, beheading them. They'll lure you in by framing the Great Siamek Alliance for murdering your family members and then turn you into their dogs. Li Qianxi closed his eyes and pondered for a while. He looked at Jia, then at the house. We absolutely cannot let those lunatics do whatever they want. So, what do you think I need to do? Zhu Jing stretched out her finger and drew a horizontal line across the coffee table, like a sharp sword slashing through half of it. Infiltration, double dealing, kill them all. You mean you want me to be a mole within the Honkai Church? Yes, you meet all the requirements perfectly. Zhu Jing nodded. We are fairly well aware of your abilities. Our Great Siamek Alliance will protect your parents, so you will have no worries. And your friend Feng Eugene, he's not dead. We moved him before the Honkai Church could act. If you can obtain the Honkai core, Feng Eugene will rise again. With current medical standards, even if he recovers, he will lose his contractability for life. But if the Honkai core is installed, he can fully recover and even be reborn. So, how about it? This is an opportunity to destroy the Honkai Church from within. Li Qianxi took a deep breath. What if everyone who knows my identity is dead? Li Qianxi didn't want to end up like in the movie Infernal Affairs on Earth, where he was a mole and everyone who knew his identity was killed. The supreme leader of the Great Siamek Alliance has personally appointed you and your sister, Madam, as members of the Mech God Group, number 39, codename Hope. Hopefully, the leader has high expectations for you. A great calamity is approaching, and this thorn in the side of the Honkai Church must be removed. You are both Decay and Hope. Get ready. I'll send your terminal script. We'll put on a show and fool the Honkai Church. According to classified information, the one who carried out the treating plan by the Church of the Collapsed was Red Card 8, Chimera Berserker Dragon. I will give you all the known information about him. After much discussion, Li Qianxi decided to change his identity and enter the Honkai Church. He didn't want his parents to think he had joined the Honkai Church. They would be so heartbroken if that happened. But in order to protect his parents and to take revenge on the Honkai Church, he must eliminate the Honkai Church. Li Qianxi had his own ideas. He could change the appearance of the Skybreaker, and with the Collapse mask, he could completely change his identity. That's just how the world is. You might want to just lie back and relax, but trouble always finds its way in. The Honkai Church? You want to cause me trouble? Well, just wait and see. Chapter 56 Punishment. Night. Li Qianxi bought lots and lots of snacks and sneaked into Xiaoying's room. Sakura, come here. Have a lollipop, Li Qianxi said with a smile. Brother Qianxi, what do you want to do? Xiaoying raised her little face, but still obediently took the lollipop and ate it. Didn't you forbid me from eating candy? It's all right, kids need to eat more to grow. Humph. You're being so attentive for no reason. I often see you being so friendly with Jia, always kissing and touching her. What do you want to do to me now? Li Qianxi raised an eyebrow. Xiaoying, I'll just tell you the truth. Would you be willing to form a contract with me? Oofed. Sakura spat out a mouthful of saliva. Me? With me? Brother Qianxi, I'm only 13 years old. It's okay, I don't mind. Li Qianxi patted his chest. But I do care. Sakura said, hands on her hips. Brother Qianxi, you already have sister Jia. How can you be with me? Your sister Jia has no objections. Well, Brother Qianxi, I still don't think it's quite right, after all. Here you go. Li Qianxi said with a smile, pulling out a large bag of snacks. Gulp, Sakura's eyes lit up. I think. Here you go. Li Qianxi pulled out 2 more bags of snacks. Brother Qianxi, you can't do this, I still. Here you go. Li Qianxi pulled out 2 more fragrant and crispy roast chickens. Brother Qianxi. Here you go. Li Qianxi pulled out his phone again. Play any games you want. There's 1,000,000 de xia coins on my phone. Xiaoying, buy whatever games you want. Okay, I'll sign with you. Xiaoying swallowed hard. But before I grow up, Brother Qianxi won't allow, you know what. Nice. Li Qianxi was overjoyed. Kids are so easy to fool. Let's start signing the contract.
Ding.
Signing a contract. Signing in progress. Suddenly, a light shone from Kozakura's forehead, and her small body was bathed in a pure white glow, then grew in an instant. What's going on? Could it be that the Overlord has been resurrected? Sakura's petite figure transformed into that of a mature, sophisticated woman, increasing in height from less than 1.4 meters to 1.7 meters. She had a slender and graceful figure, bathed in white light. The edges of the white light outlined beautiful and breathtaking lines, revealing a pair of purple eyes and a small beauty mark under her right eye. Xiaoying. Yun Xianying opened her hands, her lips moving slightly. Presumptuous. A terrifying shockwave erupted, causing Li Qianxi to tremble all over. This is terrifying. Is this the power of a wild god sovereign? Compared to when I faced a spell in the previous connected state, this was far more terrifying. After all, Li Qianxi is currently in a normal state. Previously, Li Qianxi was blessed by Liuli, the princess of the Great Xia dynasty. That's absolutely terrifying. Make a contract with me? You can't. Yun Qianying said calmly. Formal contract failed. Provisional contract succeeded. This is terrifying. She doesn't look down on Commander Li Qianxi at all. Well, that makes sense. After all, he is the ruler of the wild gods. How could he possibly sign a contract with a human like her? Xiaoying is a human personality, while Yun Qianying just now is the personality of the wild god ruler. Fortunately, Yun Qianying has not yet shown any signs of suicidal thoughts, so she is not in danger at the moment. Brother Qianxi, what did you just do to me? Xiaoying's eyes were red, and she was almost crying. I suddenly fainted just now, and it felt like a long time passed. Did you do anything bad to me? Li Qianxi swallowed hard, his atoms apple bobbing. No. You were just sleeping, and I've been watching you like this. Sakura, can I ask you something? Okay, Brother Qianxi, you go ahead. Have you ever felt that there's a really powerful, older sister inside you?
Yes.
She's my older sister, but she doesn't talk to me much. She thinks I'm stupid.
Wait.
How did you know, Brother Qianxi? For some reason, Sakura suddenly burst into tears. Wah. 55555. Sakura cried very loudly, which frightened Li Qianxi so much that he didn't know what to do. Thump, thump, thump. The sound of banging on the door was heard. Brother. It was Jia. She had heard the crying coming from inside the room. What are you doing? She's just a child. Open the door now, or I'll call the police. Open the door now. If you really can't stand it, you can come to me. How could you? Li Qianxi is almost going crazy. Wah. Brother Qianxi, you're so naughty. I don't want to. Crying inside the door, arguing outside, Li Qianxi was at her wit's end. Yeah. Someone please save me. Li Qianxi held his head in his hands. Chapter 57 Overlord's Beloved Dragon, Heterochromatic Hershers. Soon after, my parents returned as well. After understanding the general situation, the elderly couple gave Li Qianxi a good scolding. You little brat trying to have your cake and eat it too? It's not entirely impossible, but you should at least wait until Sakura grows up. Mom said fiercely. Yeah, our little Sakura is still so young. Aren't you afraid of getting locked up like this, you brat? Dad chimed in. Jia. What's wrong? The man who is now your own daughter is forcibly taking another girl into a contract. Is this appropriate? Wait a minute, I feel like my brother is the real biological son of yours, while I'm like an adopted child. Xiaoying is such a smart and beautiful child, like a porcelain doll. We don't trust her to outsiders. We absolutely cannot let the good stuff go to outsiders. But Qianxi, there's plenty of time. There's no rush. Mom said earnestly. Your mother is right. Dad continued to agree. Anyway, at home, whatever Mom says, Dad just agrees. Kozakura is also one of our children, and we should treat them all the same. Just as everyone was chattering away, a series of knocks sounded on the door. A knock on the door? Li Qianxi glanced at his watch, then at Jejia, took a deep breath and said, Mom and Dad, please excuse us for a moment. People from the Great Siamek Alliance are here to discuss some very important business with me. He knew this wasn't the Great Xia Mechanism Alliance, but rather the 8th red card of the collapsed church. I have finally gained their approval. Their tactics of treating me to meals, beheading me, and taking me as their dog are about to begin. My parents nodded. You young people are busy, be careful. After saying that, he got up and went to the door. Hello, you young people can discuss this. We old folks will be going now. My parents said a few words to the people at the door, and then left. Li Qianxi saw a young man with a buzz cut, dressed in a suit, carrying a briefcase, watching Li Qianxi's parents walk away. Mom and Dad, you can go out and have some more fun, I'll be done soon, Li Qianxi said. After seeing her parents off, Li Qianxi looked at the man in the suit with a blank expression. Who are you? He asked knowingly, otherwise, if the other party knew that he knew in advance, they would definitely take precautions. Dealing with the madmen of the Honkai Church is like walking on thin ice. You can't relax for a second, and you absolutely can't reveal any flaws. Hello, I'm the HR manager from Qiangxing Heavy Industries. I'm here today to... The man with the buzz cut acted like a typical office worker. If Li Qianxi hadn't been interviewing him, he would have been completely fooled. Name: Chenxian Valkyrie. Mechanical prototype.
Age.
Core qualities. Strength level. Attribute: light. Contractual history: 1. Only formal contracts are counted. Current contract status: contracted. Construct status: this person is undoubtedly a deacon of the Honkai Church. After all, how could a mere powerhouse like Qiangxing Heavy Industries possibly have a Valkyrie that Li Qianxi couldn't detect? Even the general manager, Dai Mingjing, could have her attributes detected. Li Qianhe's interviewing skills are truly the nemesis of the Broken Mask. As expected, aside from the name, all other information was questionable. Even the name itself might be fake. The Honkai Church's Red Card 8 is considered a mid-tier card. The Honkai Mask's concealment effect is also better, so naturally, his own strength will be higher. This person is estimated to have around the gold level strength, which is slightly higher than Zhu Jing. There is a huge gap between the gold and silver levels. Although Li Qianxi is currently at bronze level 4 and can fight against silver level experts, the consequences of facing a gold level expert are self-evident. Hello, I apologize for any inconvenience caused by my humble abode. Please have a cup of tea. Li Qianxi brewed a cup of Longjing tea that he had ordered online from Pinduoduo. Ha ha ha. The man with the buzz cut took a sip and smiled amicably. So Mr. Li Qianxi is so wealthy, yet so frugal. I truly admire him. You're joking? Li Qianxi waved his hand. I have a little money, but my expenses are high. Valkyrie accessories are expensive. My father is frugal, so he didn't buy any expensive tea. I'm sorry. Li Qianxi was in a great hurry. This guy with the red card is just going on, being polite but never getting to the point. It's driving me crazy. Okay, I'll wait then. If you don't force me, I'll force myself. A good show is unfolding over at the Great Siamek Alliance. After a while, Li Qianxi suddenly received a phone call. What? Don't talk nonsense. I didn't. You're slandering me. At the same time, the same news is being broadcast on television and online. How was the 4th ruler born? Honkai Mask? The Great Xia Mecha Alliance's super rookie possesses a Honkai Mask. Why is the Great Xia Mech Alliance covering up a murder in the street? Shocking. Collapse. One trending topic after another appeared. This was driven by both the Great Xia Mech Alliance and the collapsed church. The two trending topics that sparked the most discussion were Honkai Mask. The Great Xia Mecha Alliance's super rookie possesses Honkai Mask, and Murder in the Street. Why is the Great Xia Mecha Alliance covering up? Some images were shown inside. The footage shows Li Qianxi killing people in the streets these past few days. He's killing members of the Honkai Church, but they're all using other people's identities and masks. Passers-by might understand, but the vast majority of netizens won't buy it. Li Qianxi's actions fall under the category of a masked vigilante, refer to Batman 2 and the Joker. Even if Li Qianxi is righteous, on what basis does he judge a passerby to be a member of the Destroyer Church? He glanced at it and then immediately took action? What if he's mistaken? What if I run into him on the street later and he doesn't like me? Wouldn't I be killed on the spot? Justice out of control. Justice tainted by self-interest. In particular, when news broke that Li Qianxi also had a broken mask and left without further information, all public opinion completely spiraled out of control. Yes, the news about the Honkai mask was leaked by the Honkai Church. Sorry, I have to leave. Li Qianxi hung up the phone in a hurry. Brother, what's wrong? Jia asked quickly. Li Qianxi, what's wrong? The man with the buzz cut asked. Li Qianxi took a deep breath. Someone is framing me. The Great Xia Mech Alliance, they're framing me. Seeing his chance, the man with the buzz cut immediately sighed. It seems you've also encountered the same fate as that XYZ king. Stop talking now. Li Qianxi shook his head, quickly called Jia and went out. The Great Xia Mecha Alliance is shameless and despicable. I'm going to demand an explanation. As for Super Quanon King, I don't know who Li Qianxi is. I guess he's just another unlucky guy who got killed by the Honkai Church. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Listen up, everyone upstairs. The announcement came over the loudspeaker outside the window. You are surrounded. Lay down your weapons and surrender immediately. People from the Great Xia Mech Alliance have arrived. Moreover, there were many onlookers nearby, all of whom were denouncing the collapsed church. Humans are such a strange species. Lin Kong was once a hero who killed the deacon of the Honkai Church and a rising star of Desheng. Now, under the instigation of some people, he has become a madman of the Honkai Church. But that's perfect. This move kills two birds with one stone. Firstly, it could allow Li Qianxi to directly join the Honkai Church. Secondly, it could expose some traitors within the Great Xia Mech Alliance. Whoever is the first to jump out and eagerly arrest Li Qianxi is likely a mole. Jia, let's fight our way out. My parents have been arrested, Li Qianxi roared. In the residential area, countless mechs were arrayed below, and Lin Kong saw a middle-aged man holding his parents hostage. That's him. People from the Great Xia Mech Alliance wouldn't kidnap family members, and this person is clearly from the collapsed church and is a pawn they're sacrificing to obtain Li Qianxi. This mole knew that his actions of kidnapping other people's parents would definitely be discovered, but he was willing to die for the mission issued by the Honkai Church. Everything is for the sake of collapse. High in the sky, in the ionosphere where it is difficult to detect, a mecha dragon with heterochromatic eyes, shrunk to only a few centimeters in size, is watching this place. Spread. Now, let's see what choice you will make. Will you be condemned by the world as a traitor, or will you be reborn from the ashes? Are you worthy to be the servant of the Overlord, the King of Jokers? This person is someone who, below the Joker of the Honkai Church, is above 4 twos. Tyrant Dragon Clan, heterochromatic Hershers. Currently, of the 4 great dragon companions, 1 was killed by the one from the Sakura Kingdom, leaving 3 remaining. Heterochromatic Eyes Ruler, Illusory Wings Ruler, Ferocious Hunger and Poison Ruler, and the currently vacant position of Dark Rebellion Hershers. And Li Qianxi is one of the candidates for the Secret Rebel. Gaining the Overlord's approval will grant you the form of a dragon. Chapter 58: The Death of Li Qianxi. Li Qianxi, surrender immediately. Don't worry, we're just having your parents talk to you. We're not taking them hostage. Accept the investigation, and we will clear your name. Don't you ever think about your parents and sister? The loudspeakers in the residential area were blaring loudly. Li Qianxi sneered. The mole in the Honkai church downstairs would probably be kidnapped and taken somewhere else as soon as I went out, and then they would use my parents to coerce me into joining the Honkai church or just kill me. That's too passive. If you want to join the upper echelons of the Honkai church, you have to take the initiative. Only then will others feel comfortable using you. Moreover, with so many onlookers around, they certainly wouldn't dare do anything to their parents. After all, the mole can't reveal his identity, or the plan will be exposed. However, if they are tricked into going to a secluded corner where they have no scruples, their parents would be in great danger. However, my parents had no idea about any of this. Son, don't worry about us, the mother said, tears welling in her eyes. Honey. The elderly couple exchanged a glance. Then, Mom transformed into a tractor, its engine roaring, trying to carve a path for Li Qianxi. However, the old man and woman were too weak and not combat-oriented. In an instant, they were controlled by a powerful mech, turned back into human form, and fainted due to the mech's immense power. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry you had to go through all this trouble. However, for your future safety, and so that you won't be threatened by the Honkai church because of me, I have no choice but to make you suffer for now. Immediately, Li Qianxi pulled out the mask of Red Card 5, took a deep breath, and said, I have no choice. You forced me to do this. I killed bad guys, and you treat me like this. How despicable. Li Qianxi and Jie placed the masks on their faces, one of 5 of diamonds, and the other of 5 of hearts. Then, in a burst of red light, the two merged into one, and the masks on their faces also combined to form a mask with a 5 of hearts. Jie, listen to my instructions and don't give anything away, Li Qianxi said to Jie in his mind. Okay, I understand. Be careful, bro. Li Qianxi looked at the man with the buzz cut and saw him scrambling away, shouting something like, Don't kill me. Don't kill me. He was really into his role. This person is just trying to keep me from leaving, so I'll miss this whole show. He's pretending to run away now, probably with a different face. Maybe he'll send a miracle to rescue me later? Our gaze shifts to the ground floor. How is it? Have the residents been evacuated? Deputy Minister Chung asked his subordinates. Yes, the evacuation has been completed. There is only the target household left in the residential building now. All right, you take your men and surround the area. Have the Air Force on standby. We can't let him escape, Deputy Minister Chung murmured. Vice Minister Chung piloted the F-03 helicopter mech, activated the tail thrusters, and flew towards the 9th floor where Li Qianxi was located. I will personally go to their door to persuade them to surrender. Bang. Vice Minister Chung burst through the window, and the moment he saw Li Qianxi, wearing the Red Badge 5 mask, he flew into a rage and slammed his mecha into Li Qianxi's face. You really are a bastard. Li Qianxi quickly transformed into a mecha and slammed it towards the helicopter mecha's enormous fist. Bang, bang, bang. The two started fighting. Trying to call for your comrades, is that it? Vice Minister Chung sneered, the lightwave radar behind him emitting a bright light, isolating all electromagnetic waves in the vicinity. Downstairs, on the Great Xia Mech Alliance side, looking at the light shield above, everyone took a deep breath. In recent days, they had all had some contact with Li Qianxi. He had indeed killed a lot of people, and he did kill as soon as he sensed something was wrong. After killing them, he couldn't produce any strong evidence to prove that this person was from the collapsed church, so he simply burned the bodies to destroy the evidence. Although this kid is ruthless, and many soldiers believe that ruthlessness is necessary when dealing with the Honkai church, it is said that a high-ranking official has given a strict order, saying that this kid is the son of Superpower King, the most notorious traitor in the Great Xia Mech Alliance. A thorough investigation is necessary, and the best course of action is to kill them on the spot. Military orders are absolute. On the other side, a figure blended into the crowd. They were watching everything happening above. He was one of those crew-cut men who had just left Li Qianxi's house. He was also Red Card 8. He was preparing to ignite a major conflict at a crucial moment, making Li Qianxi and the Great Xia Alliance sworn enemies. Give Li Qianxi a big push. Fake win. Uncle Cheng, use a little more force, or others will notice. Li Qianxi said in a low voice while fighting. Shut up, kid. What if you give yourself away? What are you saying? Isn't there a barrier? No way. Li Qianxi pulled out the Godslayer's spear and smashed it at the helicopter mech. Holy crap. Sparks flew as the helicopter's armor was smashed. That was damn strong. Bang. The sword made contact with the mechanical spear, then retreated to both sides. Yes, Uncle Cheng is not the mole. He's just pretending. The real mole has already been quietly dealt with. He's just playing the role of the mole. Because the real mole actually wanted to kill Li Qianxi's parents, Uncle Cheng naturally wouldn't allow it. Li Qianxi, that's not enough, Uncle Cheng said. What's not enough? Li Qianxi asked, puzzled. Your conflict with the Great Xia Mech Alliance isn't enough. Uncle Cheng shook his head. The collapsed church won't believe you so easily. You must be sworn enemies with the Great Xia Alliance. Only then will the collapsed church believe you. And now, the simplest way is, for me, the Deputy Minister of the Mech Alliance, to die. To die at your hands. That crime should be enough, right? Li Qianxi suddenly raised an eyebrow, his mind reeling. You. Sudden. Uncle Cheng yelled, raised his sword, and charged at Li Qianxi. Uft. The god-slaying spear pierced through the chest of Uncle Cheng's mecha, going straight through and piercing the commander inside the cockpit to the core.
Tick-tock.
Crimson blood and buffer solution flowed out. Uncle Cheng smiled at Li Qianxi, then with his last strength shouted to the surroundings. I have fallen in battle. Everyone, kill Li Qianxi, that traitor. Don't blame yourself. This was my own choice. Yes, from the moment he impersonated the mole, he knew his mission as a fake mole was to completely escalate the conflict between Li Qianxi and the Great Xia Mech Alliance, destined to become a pawn. But he was willing to die for the sake of destroying this last hope of the Honkai Church. The hope of completely destroying the Honkai Church rests on your shoulders. After saying this, Uncle Cheng died, while his Valkyrie, his wife, was only seriously injured. As a man, Uncle Cheng did not let his wife die with him, but he was willing to sacrifice himself for the chance to completely destroy the Honkai Church. Li Qianxi, he's a fifth-ranking official. He killed Vice Minister Cheng. Quickly block him. Don't let him out of sight, or he'll turn into someone else. Brothers, kill him. Avenge Captain Cheng. At the same time, netizens are all reporting on the scene of the genius boy from Desheng becoming the fifth-ranked red card in the Honkai Church. Although recording the faces of the deacons of the Honkai Church is meaningless, since they will change, it is enough to publicize the irreconcilable conflict between Li Qianxi and the Great Xia Mech Alliance. At the same time, the internet is well developed. Li Qianxi's previous lack of achievement was unearthed, and even negative posts about the prodigy were dug up. At this moment, everyone realized that Li Qianxi was originally an unknown person, but had suddenly risen to prominence a little over a month ago. So, back then, his body had already been possessed by Red Card 5? It seems like everything makes sense now. Regardless of the circumstances, Li Qianxi has now gone from being a rising star in Desheng to an executioner. The mole was killed, the connection was broken, and there's no way to investigate. Boom, boom, boom. The aftershocks of the battle swept outwards, and a laser beam shot towards a certain spot.
Boom.
That is the location of the parents. Boom. As the smoke and dust cleared, only 2 charred corpses remained on the ground. Great Xia Mech Alliance. Li Qianxi roared to the sky, appearing as if he had gone mad. I will make you pay the price. I will kill you all. Chapter 59 Citywide Chase. You all deserve to die. Li Qianxi transformed into the Sky Thunder mecha form, rushed out of the window, and charged towards the crowd below. The onlookers hurriedly fled, while those who couldn't escape hid behind the soldiers of the Great Xia Mechanism Alliance. With the god-slaying spear appearing in his hand, Li Qianxi activated the energy core, outputting most of its power, and smashed it towards a soldier mech of the Great Xia Mech Alliance. Stop. Suddenly, a blue laser beam shot towards Li Qianqi, deflecting his Godslayer spear and sending it crashing heavily to the ground, raising a cloud of dust. Yang Chenglong piloted the helicopter mech and rushed over, grabbing Li Qianqi's arm and roaring, "What the hell are you doing?" Yang Chenglong had no idea what responsibility Li Qianqi would be shouldering next. After all, this matter needed to be kept secret, and the fewer people who knew, the better. Even Deputy Minister Qing Shu only found out because he was prepared to die. The whole incident was orchestrated by the top management of the Machine Alliance, with Special Liaison Officer Zhu Jing contacting Li Qianqi directly. Furthermore, after Li Qianqi infiltrated the Honkai Church, Ms. Zhu Jing either resigned to take responsibility or died in battle. In short, the Great Xia Mech Alliance paid a bloody price to destroy the Honkai Church. There's nothing I can do. There may be a mole within the Mech Alliance. The genius commanders and Valkyries within the Mech Alliance cannot be completely trusted. To dismantle the Honkai Church from within, we can only send out commanders who are talented enough and have no connection with the Great Xia Mech Alliance. Li Qianqi has a deep-seated hatred for the collapsed church, and he is also very talented. He is the only suitable person for the job. Li Qianqi, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Where's Lao Cheng? Wasn't he trying to persuade you? When Yang Chenglong saw Uncle Cheng in the ruins, his heart ached terribly. You beast! Yang Chenglong went berserk upon seeing his friend killed. He drew 2 black and gold swords and, with a cold and frenzied expression, slashed at Li Qianqi. I really misjudged him. The leader said that Li Qianqi was very likely the son of Super Quantum King, the biggest traitor in the Great Xia Mech Alliance, and not trustworthy. But I naively thought that the mistakes of the older generation should not be blamed on their descendants. Ha ha ha. Like attracts like. They're all wolves in sheep's clothing, harboring malicious intentions. Yang Chenglong, misjudged him. I even sent people to protect his parents, and I even sent people to the hospital to pick up his good brother. All my good intentions have been wasted. Damn it, absolutely awful. Yang Chenglong grew angrier the more he thought about it, and he brandished his 2 swords with great force. You bastard, prepare to die. A cool Lamborghini ST sped by. The front of the vehicle cracked open, revealing a cannon barrel. Fiery red energy condensed and blasted out a crimson energy bullet. The crimson energy blast struck Li Qianqi in the chest, and the rampaging flames collapsed half of the residential building, raising a cloud of dust that obscured the view of most people. Ms. Zhu Jing is here too. With the 2 strongest silver-level fighters in Deshang making their move at the same time, Li Qianqi should be executed now, right?
Boom.
As the smoke and dust cleared, 30 years east of the river, 30 years west of the river. Never underestimate a young man's potential. The humiliation of today will surely be avenged in a future visit. Li Qianqi roared, and then the sky thunder transformed into its mecha beast form. Honkai Church Raptor Squad. Attack the Falcon. It was the Raptor Squad that attacked Falcon. Yang Chenglong muttered absent-mindedly. I've been clinging to a sliver of hope, but it seems. Activate the air defense field. This kid must not be allowed to live. Yang Chenglong roared into his headset. Let's give chase. Ms. Zhu Jing transformed into her mecha form, spewing flames from her tail, and chased after Li Qianqi in the direction he had fled. Among the onlookers, one figure smirked slightly and muttered. The target is about to be driven to the brink of despair. It's time for our divine intervention. Notify the Herschers with heterochromia to come and meet us. We really can't break through that field with our strength. Just as Li Qianqi reached the horizon, he was stopped by a hexagonal field. Transform. The attacking falcon transformed into the Skybreaker, and the Godslayer's spear reappeared in its hand. It then stabbed heavily into the field. Bang! The immense recoil force sent a shiver through Li Qianqi's arm, and he almost dropped the god-slaying spear, while the field remained completely unharmed. As expected of the highest technology of the Great Xia Mech Alliance, I didn't realize how powerful it was when it was protecting me before, but now that I've encountered it myself, I'm amazed at how tough it is. My hands are numb from the vibration. A soft, sweet voice sounded in my ear. Brother Qianqi, where is this? Sakura woke up. Li Qianqi naturally knocked Xiaoying unconscious immediately and then merged with her. Honkai Mask possesses the ability to merge Valkyries and commanders into one. While others can only merge 1+1, Li Qianqi scanned Honkai Mask using the system and spent several thousand points to modify it, allowing Honkai Mask to merge with more contracted Valkyries. Anyway, the Honkai Mask isn't a combat-type accessory, and the score requirement isn't high. Afterwards, Li Qianqi stuffed Xiaoying into the driver's seat and soaked her in the buffer solution with him. Now, she was awakened by the force of the recoil.
Wow.
It's the sky. Sakura clapped her hands excitedly as she saw the city scattered like stars below. Sakura is flying again. Sakura? Li Qianqi cleared his throat. Brother is playing house right now, and brother is playing the bad guy. Don't be afraid, no matter what happens later. It's all just playing games. Sakura nodded. Brother Qianqi, if you're going to play a villain, then Xiaoying has to play a villain too. I'm going to help my brother drive away those good people. Li Qianqi nodded with a wry smile. All right, we're all big bad guys now. We have to run away, run to the farthest reaches of the sky. Sakura was very interested in this kind of story that only existed in anime. Millennium and I sent, do you need my help? Need not. How could I dare ask her for help? What if she accidentally destroyed Desheng? Activates city-wide surveillance. Under no circumstances should Li Qian, no, red card 5, leave our sight, otherwise we won't recognize him after he changes his appearance. Activates city-wide surveillance. Under no circumstances should Li Qian, no, red card 5, leave our sight, otherwise we won't recognize him after he changes his appearance. The broadcast echoed over Desheng. At this moment, Li Qianqi became the target of a city-wide manhunt. Li Qianqi constantly changed his motorcycle and robot forms as he raced and hid in the city. Fuck the hell. Li Qianqi, with a face recorded by the Honkai Mask, mingled in the crowd and spat. Those stinking idiots from the Honkai Church, did they have to wait until I was at my wit's end before showing up? That's so damn sneaky. Li Qianqi took a deep breath and dialed Ms. Zhu Jing's one-way contact number. 10 minutes from the top floor of Yunmao Shopping Mall. They'll come to grab me then, so I need to speed up. Since the Honkai Church insists on waiting until I'm at my wit's end, then I'll deliberately go to my wit's end. Is that alright? Chapter 60 The Deaths of Li Qianqi, Jiejie, and Xiaoying. Yunmao Shopping Mall, rooftop. It's Yunmao Shopping Mall again. Li Qianqi stood on the rooftop of the shopping mall, gazing at the masses below, before finally fixing his gaze on the mall entrance. That's where Dad met Feng Eugene. And it should be in this place that Red Card 3 launched an attack. His original target was Dad, but Feng Eugene was the one who got hit instead.
This is where it all began.
From confronting the Honkai Church head-on, to the resurgence of Urspell, and finally, right now, I'm going to join the Honkai Church. Ha, isn't that funny? Evacuate. 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 The Great Siamek Alliance is apprehending terrorists. Everyone, avoid the area. Below the shopping mall, the people from the Great Xia Machine Alliance began clearing out the area. After all, a fierce battle is about to break out here, and it is impossible not to evacuate the crowd. A short while later, the once bustling streets were now deserted, with only tattered plastic bags and a few crumpled pieces of paper scattered about. They've arrived. Suddenly, a variety of sports cars, sedans, buses, military Humvees, and even tanks sped down the street below. In the sky, various flying mechanical birds circled, their radar sensors interconnected, forming a barrier as vast as the sky. This is no ordinary barrier. It can sense the raptor movement ability of the Honkai Church Deacon in advance, and can also seal off the area. With artillery fire on the ground and a blockade from the sky, this drama targeting Li Qianqi is truly grand. Looking at the predicament of being surrounded by enemies on all sides, Jie, Xiaoying, are you scared? Li Qianxi stroked the mask on his face. I'm not afraid. With my brother by my side, I'm not afraid of anything. Jie said. I'm not scared. Xiaoying shook her head and muttered, Brother Qianxi, how about you buy me 10 or even 9 bags of pork jerky, and I'll help you beat them all down? Times 2. Li Qianxi and Jie swallowed hard at the same time. Let's not do it. What if you accidentally become the next Aspel? Then we siblings will become sinners against all mankind. Li Qianxi took out a bag of chewing candy from the system space and tossed it to Xiaoying so she could chew it herself. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. Li Qianxi looked at Jie. Bro, we're practically family. Why are you being so polite with me? Be gentle? Li Qianxi teased, trying to lighten the mood. Humph. I can't be gentle with you, or you'll go out and find the Valkyrie again. Brother, what are your plans? Are you going to kill someone? Jie's voice was tinged with reluctance. It's just acting, there's no need for anyone to die, right? After all, everyone's life is precious. If we're going to seek thrills, let's go all the way. Li Qianxi activated the ability of the collapse mask, merging his body with Jie's. Jie, Xiaoying, have you ever tried bungee jumping? Li Qianxi stared at the increasing number of Great Xia Alliance soldiers below him. Bungee jumping? I heard that's a course for flight-related structures to simulate emergency landings. I've never tried it. Li Qianxi was speechless. Okay, there's a cognitive bias. Xiaoying, hold on to my neck, don't fall. Li Qianxi carried Xiaoying on his back. Then, he leaped into the air. When Li Qianxi fell to the 9th floor, his body transformed into a stream of light, from which countless small cubes emerged, tightly enveloping his body. These cubes then assembled into a powerful mecha. Tian Ting clenched his fists, and a mechanical spear gleaming with a cold, icy light appeared in his black iron palms. Tian Tingo gripped the spear and thrust it fiercely into the wall of the tall building. The sharp spearhead was as hard as if it had pierced tofu. The acceleration caused by gravity during the fall is instantly reversed into a negative value. The intricate network of alloy steel bars and special cement within the building walls was severed by the smooth, long handle of the Godslayer spear, leaving a striking groove in the once mirror-like surface of the walls. In the ravine, the crisscrossing steel bars were broken at the root, and the broken edges were slightly red from being rubbed.
Attack.
Rocket launcher fire. Shockwave emission. Pulsed laser emission. The mechs below launched an attack, unleashing a barrage of artillery fire and lasers at the skybreaker. Boom boom. Having reached bronze level 4, Li Qianxi was naturally unafraid of these things. Previously, he only had a black iron level cockpit, and the buffer solution was also black iron level, so its effect in reducing shock was very weak. Now, the attacks from the Great Xia Alliance are completely ineffective against Li Qianxi. Boom. The thunderclap released its grip, and the spear of Godslayer vanished into thin air. Then the Tian Ting landed heavily, like a cannonball crashing onto a concrete surface, shattering the ground into pieces and creating a crater 10 meters in diameter at the center. Spread. A cloud of dust rose in an instant. The dust mixed with the smoke from artillery shells.
Ah!
Die, all of you! Li Qianxi burst through the smoke of battle, roaring as he charged toward the Great Xia Alliance. Fire. High-frequency penetrating electromagnetic cannon. Yang Chenglong's cold voice rang out from within the Great Xia Mech Alliance. The more he once thought highly of Li Qianxi, the more he now hates him. Sizzle sizzle. A terrifying electromagnetic cannon shot out. This attack extracted a portion of the field. Even ordinary gold-level Valkyries couldn't withstand it, let alone a bronze-level one. Go to hell. Boom. A strange roar mingled with the booming sound of the explosion. Yunmao Shopping Mall completely collapsed, and dust was once again billowing into the air. As the dust settled, the sky thunder was nowhere to be seen. Only 3 completely charred corpses lay in the deep pit. At this moment, Zhu Jing stepped out from the crowd. Li Qianxi and Li Mingjia have been killed. A young girl was accidentally killed at the scene. Logistics unit, collect the bodies. Chapter 61, Vanishing into Darkness. 2 days later. In the sweltering summer heat, it's June, the hottest month of the year. Although it's already 6 p.m., the sun still has half its face remaining, stubbornly radiating its scorching heat upon Dazhou. The air is filled with the sounds of car horns. The cicadas buzzed in the trees by the roadside, a cacophony of sounds that, combined with the recent series of accidents, was truly irritating. The streets were deserted, and the weather was too hot for young people without constructs to venture out. Even commanders couldn't bear to let their constructs or Valkyries suffer in the heat. It's rush hour now, and men are driving home in all sorts of cars that are both wives and colleagues. The flow of vehicles and people is surging towards the south of the city. The city layout in this world is very orderly, with industrial zones and corporate zones each having their own areas, while residential areas are located in another place. This also makes it easier for the Great Xia Alliance to protect residential areas in a timely manner during a crisis, while the industrial area can only be abandoned. Among the sparse pedestrians, a figure was walking slowly against the flow of traffic. The person was an elderly man, thin, and with an ordinary appearance, who was not conspicuous even though he was walking against the flow of traffic. The old man was holding the hand of a little girl who looked about 12 or 13 years old. It was obvious at a glance that they were not grandfather and granddaughter. The old man was not good-looking, while the 13-year-old girl was as beautiful as a porcelain doll, making one want to hug her and give her a good rub. The old man took out his iPhone and sent a voice message. "I'm going to deliver something and I'll be right back. Don't rush me." Upon arriving at Lianshanshui residential area in the southern part of the city, the elderly man clutched a small, milky white square in his hand, took a deep breath, and then went inside. "Grandpa, I want to go buy some food." The little girl's eyes lit up when she saw the cake shop at the entrance of the community. "All right, go ahead." The old man nodded. "Money." Inside the fruit shop in Lianshanshui residential area. "Brother Han, I'm going home right away," Feng Eugene's sister, Feng Miaoka, said to the young man's avatar on the terminal. "Okay, come back soon." Feng Miaoka put away her terminal and the video call interface, with K Han floated in front of her eyes. Feng Miaoka picked up a watermelon and handed it to the shopkeeper, saying, "This one will do." After paying, she picked up the bag and pushed Feng Eugene, who was in a wheelchair, out of the fruit shop. Just as I reached the entrance of the fruit shop, I bumped into an elderly man in his 80s. The wheelchair collided with the man, causing him to fall to the ground. Feng Miaoka quickly released the wheelchair and helped the old man up. "I'm sorry, sir. I was thinking about something and didn't notice you," Feng Miaoka said apologetically. She was very worried. After all, her younger brother was in a vegetative state, and his recent surgery had cost a fortune. She had even retired early to care for him, and now she was completely broke. What if the elderly person tried to scam her? Cough, cough. "It's nothing." The old man lowered his sun hat, stood up unsteadily, and walked past Feng Miaoka and Feng Eugene into the fruit shop. "Strange, I've lived here for so many years, and I've never seen this old man before," Feng Miaoka muttered, watching the man's retreating figure. "But thankfully, he wasn't trying to scam me. Maybe they're visiting relatives?" K Han's voice came through the earpiece. "All right." As an outstanding warrior of the Great Xia Mech Alliance, K Han was still cautious. It was still a special period, and any stranger or even a familiar person could be a member of the Honkai Church. This strange old man seemed a bit strange, as if he was familiar. Could they be followers of the Honkai Church, with whom they had previously fought? However, K Han was a gentle man, and he didn't want to show anything unusual in front of Feng Miaoka. At least for now, although their lives after retirement were simple, they were still quite happy. However, if those guys from the Honkai Church keep pursuing us, humph. The old man glanced in the direction Feng Miaoka had left and sighed. Afterwards, I bought a few pounds of bananas and pears at the fruit shop. After leaving the fruit shop, I followed Feng Miaoka downstairs in the scorching sun. The old man peeled a banana and casually threw the peel on the ground. "You brat, Don't imitate that uncle and litter like that, okay? A plump woman, leading a husky, picked up a pile of dog poop with a look of disgust. Woof, woof, woof. The real, flesh-and-blood husky barked proudly at its owner for a while, then turned its head towards the middle-aged man, ready to bark wildly to declare its authority. However, the husky seemed to see something, suddenly broke free from its owner's leash, and darted away. Don't run away, son. The plump woman immediately lunged forward, her body instantly transforming into a 2-meter-long, large mechanical husky. What's puzzling is that she transformed all by herself, which means she's a member of the Honkai Church. The old man took off his sun hat, and a faint red light emanated from his forehead, outlining the number 5. The plump woman quickly reverted to her original appearance, lowering her head and stepping aside. The elderly man left the community garden, crushed the mask in his hand, which had no numbers but only patterns, to pieces, and then walked towards the residential building. And among the flower beds in the community garden were 2 charred corpses. The old man arrived at Feng Miaoka's door in the community, took a deep breath, and his skin seemed to come alive. His originally aged face disappeared, replaced by the face of an unfamiliar middle-aged man. Li Qianxi knocked on the door. Should I meet with them? After hesitating for a moment, he quickly placed a box from the system space on the ground, then activated Raptor displacement and disappeared from the spot. Inside the box were GX15 copolymer and other materials needed for Feng Eugene's recovery, as well as a bank card with 10 million yuan in it, the password of which was the same as Feng Eugene's own bank card password. Li Qianxi and Feng Eugene knew each other's bank card pins. That's all for now, goodbye. Feng Miaoka and Kei Han stared at the contents of the gift box in their hands, remaining silent for a long time. Is it that person? Feng Miaoka murmured. I think so. Kei Han walked to the window and looked down at the garden. However, these are his belongings. I think he's not dead. Feng Miaoka shook her head. No, Kei Han turned around and smiled. Li Qianxi is dead, but he is not. I believe he did not betray humanity.
Kei Han said casually.
Yes, Li Qianxi is dead. Yes, Li Qianxi is dead. Outside the residential compound, a solitary figure walked from the sunlight into the shade of a tree, into the darkness exposed to the sun. Chapter 62, Towards the Light. Desheng No. 2 Middle School. Today is the long-stalled contract matching event, which should have been held a long time ago, but Desheng has encountered too many things recently, so it has been delayed for almost 2 months. After pairing up, these young constructs and commanders should be able to officially become men and women tonight, right? After nearly 2 months of holding back, the students were incredibly excited about the contract-based matchmaking event. The place was packed with people, and the atmosphere was filled with the vibrant energy of youth as they freely expressed their love. That's great. On the playground, Feng Eugene, leaning on his crutches, sighed, feeling extremely upset. His best friend was killed for betraying humanity, and his beloved excavator girlfriend left him after he became paralyzed. He simply couldn't believe his best friend would betray humanity. Although I have miraculously recovered, everything from the past can never be brought back. Major media outlets and social media platforms are all reporting on this event, and they are all relieved by the death of such a major traitor as Li Qianxi. The tragedy of XYZ King should never be repeated. A few people were just chatting about the traitor Li Qianxi, basically calling him a beast. Feng Eugene was furious, but couldn't find a reason to refute them. It's infuriating. Everyone knows that Li Qianxi betrayed humanity and joined the Honkai Church. Although Feng Eugene doesn't believe it, it's a well-known fact. Therefore, he fought with those people while leaning on his cane. However, he ended up with a bruised and swollen face.
Cut.
Leaning on her cane, Feng Eugene left the venue of the contract matching conference, went to a corner of the playground, lay down on the grass, and stared blankly at the sky. The sun's light was obscured by dark clouds. Hello, classmate. A beautiful figure approached, bathed in sunlight, and extended her hand to Feng Eugene, whose face was bruised and swollen. What's your name? Feng Eugene. Hello, Feng. I'm Zhuyiling, a transfer student. Nice to meet you. The girl's smile was as dazzling as the sun. Why bother taking care of me when we're almost graduating? Feng Eugene muttered, turning her head and lying down on the lawn. Feng, would you be willing to become my commander? Zhuyiling asked very directly. Feng Eugene glanced at the girl, then, as if by telepathy, looked up at a certain mountain peak. At this moment, the dark clouds dissipated. The normally scorching sun now cast a soft light upon Feng Eugene. He stood up and, limping, walked step by step toward the mountain peak in the sunlight. Hey, are you going to form a contract with me or not? Zhuyiling followed. On a mountain peak not far away, two figures looked down at the campus below. Hey, Brother Hanwu, what are you doing here? A burly middle-aged man, clutching a bottle of liquor, said to the handsome young man beside him. You're not thinking of getting revenge on your old enemy before you leave, are you? It's nothing, let's go. Li Qianxi shook his head. He put on the mask of the Five of Hearts, and with a series of clicking and clattering mechanical transformation sounds, a huge, rapidly moving raptor-like machine flew into the distance. Flying towards the distant horizon beneath the dark clouds. The little guy is quite profound. The middle-aged man threw away the wine bottle. The skin on his face disappeared, replaced by a red mask. Roar. Immediately afterwards, an electromechanical dragon with wings on its back took off and flew into the distance with the raptor. Goodbye, Desheng. Li Qianxi had once considered that he might leave Desheng, mainly for the reason of joining the Daxia Machinery Alliance. Little did I know that the day I left Desheng would be because I joined the Honkai Church. Li Qianxi put on the mask and temporarily accepted the identity of the Honkai Church. The instant he put on the mask, he felt a strange whisper, as if another version of himself was whispering in his ear. Li Qianxi's lips curled slightly upwards as certain images flashed through his mind. Interesting. In a certain alternate dimension, a gigantic mechanical dragon with heterochromatic eyes stared at Li Qianxi as he flew, a slight smile playing on its lips. An undercover agent? The commander of the heterochromatic familiar possesses a unique ability that allows him to freely travel between different dimensions without being detected. With him around, Li Qianxi's undercover identity has been completely useless from beginning to end. I never imagined that Lord Black King would return to my Honkai Church in such a spy-like manner. Forget it. Let's just pretend we didn't find out. Lord Black King should be saying that he has a specific plan to corrupt the great Xia Imperial Princess. How do you plan to achieve this completely impossible goal? Chapter 63 New Identity. Am I Li Hua? To avoid confusion, here's a slight spoiler. The protagonist is only trying to get close to someone, not acting like a saint to help others. The beginning of this volume is full of setup, twists, foreshadowing, imaginative ideas, and the ending is absolutely explosive. The ending is intense and might confuse you. As the saying goes, to perfectly deceive others, you must first completely deceive yourself. Things have changed, people are gone, and everything is over. Li Qianxi and Hong Bai Ba took a plane to Sida City, the capital city of Wuchuan Province. The situation is quite complicated right now, so we definitely need to take a plane to avoid attracting attention. After leaving the airport, Red Card 8 silently led Li Qianxi to a 5-star hotel. To be honest, the treatment of the deacons of the Honkai Church is quite good. At least they are never short of food, clothing, housing, and transportation. Red Card 8 looks like a down-on-his-luck drunkard, but in reality, he is never short of money. In the presidential suite, Little Li, take this. Red Card 8 tossed over a file bag. This is your new identity. Don't worry, it's a new identity without any problems. It's been registered with the Great Xia Machine Alliance. From now on, you'll work for us. Li Qianxi opened the file folder, which contained documents such as his ID card, household registration book, and driver's license, which could prove his new identity. His new name is Li Hua.
Oh.
From today onwards, am I the legendary Li Hua, the nightmare of all English learners who spends all day sending out emails but never writes them himself? Good heavens! Wait, here comes the part that makes Li Qianqi shudder. The people of the collapsed church were actually able to hack into the household registration management system of the Great Siamek Alliance. Could it be that there are traitors within the Great Siamek Alliance's upper echelons who have infiltrated the Church of Collapse? Okay, these things are still quite far from Li Qianqi's current situation. Let's not think about them for now. When Li Qianqi saw that Jie didn't have a new identity, he frowned. Where's Jie? Why doesn't she have a new identity? Haley, are you stupid? Red Card 8 opened a bottle of red wine and drank it like it was beer. Look at me. Do you even see my Valkyrie normally? Oh, right, I haven't told you yet. In the Honkai Church, the commander and Valkyrie system is not practical. Although our deacons are two cards of the same suit, they actually represent only one person's will. In other words, for each suit, there is only one will between the commander and the Valkyrie, and the other is just a pure puppet. For example, the famous black card K-Lady, she is a butler with a Valkyrie as the main body, and her commander is just a tool that has been modified and has no thought. In other words, when the two people are combined into one, only one person's identity information is needed. So, when I stripped the Valkyrie naked in front of those butlers, the commander didn't react at all because she was just a tool. Upon hearing what Red Card 8 said, Li Qianqi felt a chill run down his spine. The Honkai Church, as expected of the Honkai, has a distorted understanding of the Valkyrie commander system in this world. However, this does indeed avoid unnecessary conflicts between the commander and the Valkyrie, and prevents differing opinions from affecting the battle. Furthermore, when constructing the Ascended Herscher's form, since the Valkyrie and the commander are truly different bodies with the same heart, the Ascended network they construct is more stable and their combat power is stronger. However, there were two people, one with an idea and the other merely a tool, completely stifling human thought. He really is crazy. In other words, in their eyes, Jie was nothing more than Li Qianqi's puppet. Li Qianqi panicked. If the madman of the collapsed church really intended to reform Jie, he would definitely not agree, and would resist even if it cost him his life. However, you seem to have the supernatural talent of a Superman, right? Red Card 8 changed the subject. Yes, that's me. There's no need for a superpower master. Superpower masters come with the heat synergy talent, which allows them to transform and combine in an emergency when the commander and Valkyrie are separated. Since you two can go on field missions together in the future, you probably won't need any modifications. Red Card 8 looked at Li Qianqi with some envy. That's good. Li Qianqi breathed a sigh of relief. Jie is the most important person to me. Anyone who wants to harm her will have to step over my dead body first. Red Card 8 chuckled, neither confirming nor denying. I hope you, the Valkyrie, won't betray me. If I didn't have to use the Valkyrie's power, I think I would never have been this close to a woman again in my life. Li Qianqi raised an eyebrow, his lips twitching slightly. You're not a guy, are you? Get lost. Red Card 8 laughed and cursed. Since you're going to work for me from now on, I'll tell you my name. Hu Xianjun, this is my name, my original name. I'm not as famous as you. This is my original name, and I still use it now. Anyway, nobody notices me. Hu Xianjun laughed self-deprecatingly. Compared to you, a ruthless thug who betrayed humanity, slaughtered civilians, and murdered the deputy minister of the Great Siamek Alliance branch, I only killed a damned bastard. I never expected to offend someone I shouldn't have, and being forced into a corner, I had no choice but to join the Honkai Church. Hu Xianjun was quite drunk. Go, you still have a mission? Li Hua, the original owner of this identity, is still alive. Go and peel off his face, become him. Don't worry, the moment you kill him, his fingerprints, DNA, and other information will become yours. You can live a good life now. Back in the room. Brother, are we really going to kill Li Hua? Jie sat on the edge of the bed, her mind heavy with worry. Kill. Li Qianqi nodded, his gaze resolute. Now that I've taken the first step, I must see it through to the end. Jie, if we can eradicate this malignant tumor, the Honkai Church, I won't hesitate to kill anyone. Judge trembled slightly. Brother, what if they kill me? What if they want to turn me into a tool? Won't you hesitate? You need to understand. Li Qianxi ruffled Judge's hair. The reason I'm determined to kill the Honkai Church isn't to protect the world or anything like that. It's because they want to hurt our parents and even you. I don't want to protect the world. I just want to protect you. If killing is necessary, then I won't hesitate. I've never been a good person, but I want to be your good brother and your good husband. Judge nodded. After all, she wasn't some saint. Okay, if brother is a big bad guy, then I'm a little bad guy. She also knew that every undercover agent had the blood of innocent people on their hands. Me too. Sakura crawled out from under the bed. I'm a little rascal too. We're the villainous Humagears, and we're going to defeat the righteous Kamen Riders. Sakura? Li Qianxi's eyes widened. What are you doing hiding under the bed? Go back to your room. I just wanted to see what my older brother and sister would be doing in this big room. Xiaoying nervously poked her finger. I watched episode 10 of The Sky of Fate. After much persuasion, and after seeing Xiaoying off, Li Qianxi gently hugged Jejia. To be honest, the pressure of killing an innocent person is immense. Li Qianxi said wearily. That's what I said, but the guilt is still quite strong. How about I give my brother a back massage? A massage to help him relax. Chapter 64 Jejia's first experience of love in the rain. Millennium's first entry into the collapsed court. Sigh. I've been wearing these shoes all day. I'm going to wash them first. Jejia took off her shoes and stretched her feet, which were still slightly warm. No. Li Qianxi swallowed hard. Let it be. I like Jejia's stinky little feet too. You're the one with stinky feet. If I say it stinks, then it stinks. Li Qianxi chuckled. Get lost, bro. Smell it and see if it stinks. Jejia said, both embarrassed and indignant, as she stomped her small, white-stockinged feet, which were glistening with sweat, onto Li Qianxi's face. Smell it or not? Smell it and see if it stinks, you bastard bro. Li Qianxi took a deep breath. No, held his breath and exclaimed, it stinks, it's so stinky. Then, Jejia lost her balance and fell on top of Li Qianxi. The two of them stared at each other in human pyramid position, and the previously joyful atmosphere instantly became silent. Brother, I'm going to wash my feet. Feeling Li Qianxi's burning body temperature and rapid heartbeat, Jejia panicked and wanted to escape. Brother, let go. Jejia murmured. Jejia, is it okay? Jejia struggled for a while, but in the end, her overwhelming emotions overwhelmed her reason. Okay, but... Jejia pulled out a piece of chewing gum from the bedside table, her face flushed, and said, only with this, can I? 1 hour later. Jejia, what do you think of Xiaoying? Isn't she super cute? Li Qianxi said, looking at the ceiling. Brother, no. Li Qianxi, what do you want to do? Xiaoying is just a child. If you dare, I'll never talk to you again. What I mean is, Sakura is so cute. Li Qianxi turned over, looking at the adorable little face of the person next to her. Someone as cute as Sakura, let's have one? We'll talk about it later. Before getting married, we must pay attention to safety. Late at night. Bite. A system notification sound rang out. Holy crap, what the hell is that noise? Li Qianxi suddenly opened his eyes and immediately shielded the sleeping Jejia behind him. There's no way around it. Being in the Honkai Church, you have to be careful in everything you do. Congratulations, host, on obtaining the highest level 5 driver's license. A license directly issued by the Honkai Church, genuine and valid. Congratulations, Commander. Your special abilities Star Tuner and Supermancer have been upgraded to level 4, and Linker has been upgraded to level 3. Star Tuner, a special talent for commanders, currently at level 4. Can adjust star rating using 1/2/3/4 energy core adjustment badges and themselves. The star rating of the energy core adjustment badge increases with the user's energy core level, lasting until the end of the battle. Hersher of the XYZ, Commander exclusive talent, currently level 4. can be stacked with Valkyrie to forcibly activate the Herrscher of the XYZ form, increasing strength by 1/1/1.5 to 2 major ranks, e.g., directly increasing from Iron rank 3 to Silver/Bronze rank 3. Herrscher of the XYZ can be stacked with Valkyrie's fourth form Herrscher of the Rising, further increasing strength. Herrschers of the XYZ form is similar to Herrschers of the Rising form. Linker, Commander Exclusive Talent, current level 3. You can additionally contract 1/2/3 Valkyries, linking them with your energy core to fight simultaneously, sharing your energy consumption, but your energy consumption will increase by 50%, equivalent to controlling multiple Valkyries only counting the one with the highest energy consumption, but the total energy consumption increases by 50%. Current number of additional contracts. 2. New effect. You can cancel the contract with additional contract targets at any time without any backlash, but you cannot cancel the first official Valkyrie in any way. All in all, Star Tuners can now upgrade by 10 stars. 1+2+3+4. However, the star tuning badges prepared by Li Qianxi are only 3 stars at most, and upgrading to a 4-star badge is too expensive. 10 lower-level badges can be combined to create one higher-level badge. It takes 10 3-star badges to create a 4-star badge. Well, a 1-star badge costs 100,000 points, and to upgrade to 4 stars, you need 1,000 1-star badges, which adds up to 100 million points. I spent almost all my money on the parts for Lord of the End, and although I made some money by recycling the corpses of wild beasts, I'm still far from having 100 million points. Money, well, sometimes you feel it doesn't matter, but when you suddenly lose it, you feel terrible. Okay, let's start with 1+2+3+1 is equal to 7 stars as a base. Adjusting stars with 7 stars is pretty awesome. As for XYZ Masters, the consumption has been further reduced, but it's still quite a blow to Li Qianxi, whose base level is only bronze. Moreover, the tier increase has reached 2 levels. Now that Li Qianxi has activated XYZ stacking, his strength can rise from bronze level 4 to gold level 4. With the addition of star adjustment, it's directly upgraded to platinum tier 1. His explosive power is off the charts. As for Linker, it's purely used as a summoning skill. When all else fails, just summon Ruri. The ultimate goal is Link 7.
Ding.
Star Trainer, Super Summoner, and Linker have been upgraded to the highest normal level. Please develop the subsequent levels yourself. The system notifications have finally ended. Why are you only reminding me now? Li Qianxi teased. This is because we detected that the host is about to do something else more important, so I'll give a notification after the host finishes doing it. See how considerate I am. You were peeking at my desk, weren't you? Li Qianxi's eyes widened, and he said angrily, "System, you're finished. Just wait and see if I ever work for you again. Who wants to look at you?" I didn't look. What an ugly thing. I don't want to look at it. You really didn't watch it? I saw it just a little bit. All right, now that you've seen me, you need to prepare mugwort. Come on, there's a really powerful guy from the Honkai Church who's been spying on you guys. If I hadn't intervened and blocked it, you two would have been broadcast live to him already. Li Qianxi finally realized. Then thank you. You're welcome, but you still need to prepare mugwort. Yumilo,